In the last 10 minutes or so, Manchester City have published their financial report for the year of 2021-22, announcing record-breaking numbers in terms of profit and revenue. Let's pick out some of the headline figures. They've announced a club record revenue of £613 million, and more significantly, they've revealed record profits too, £41.7 million, more than double the previous record. And according to company Brand Finance, their brand value is £1.16 billion, making them the second most valuable football brand in the world, behind Real Madrid.
Right, let's get some more context on this then. We can speak to football finance expert Kieran Maguire. Very good morning to you, Kieran. What are the standout figures for you from this?
I think the growth in revenue for City is very impressive. This is the second highest in the history of the Premier League. The fact that they managed to do that without having to increase their wage bill, I think will impress people as well. And of course, ultimately turning a profit. And what we're now seeing from Manchester City is that they're no longer what you might call a destination club, but they're now a trading club. So they made £68 million from player sales. Manchester City are also the first club in the history of the Premier League to have a squad that costs more than £1 billion.
If we're looking at wages, you mentioned wages there, they hadn't gone up. There's more than £300 million spent on wages for that year. For context, how does that compare with the rest of the Premier League?
£30 million less than Manchester United. I think Manchester United, acquiring Cristiano Ronaldo, acquiring some other players at high fees last season, brought a significant increase in the Old Trafford wage bill. It makes it the second highest. Chelsea aren't far behind. There's then a sizable gap to Liverpool, then Arsenal and Spurs. So Manchester City certainly pay competitive wages, but they're not the highest in the Premier League.
And looking at this, record revenue of more than £600 million. But more than half of that has been listed as other commercial activity. So what exactly does that mean?
Well, that will be the sponsorship of the stadium by Etihad Airways, along with the front of shirt deal. I think Manchester City have also had significant increase in, they now have a separate training gear sponsor. They have increased tie-ups and commercial arrangements with companies all over the world. I think they've very much followed the Manchester United model in having both local and global sponsors. And what sponsors want most of all is the ability to put their products alongside trophies. And by continually winning the Premier League, it allows City to effectively to reap the rewards of the bonuses which come when they win trophies, because that's what commercial partners want to see most of all.
Everybody talks about Manchester City's spending power. It's been like that for a number of years, but actually, you've got to give them credit. They've sold well recently too.
Yes, if we take a look at the numbers for 2022, it was £86 million worth of player sales. It was 94 the previous season, 70 the previous season. So Manchester City are now both a buying and a selling club. And of course, over the summer of 2022, with the sales of Jesus and others, they've generated further money as well. And I think this is a function of that they have tended to buy players when they're relatively young, and therefore they can sell them when they're young as well, and generate significant fees.
There's been quite a lot to unpack in all of this. Is there anything else of note that you can flag?
I think what is interesting is that City have very much committed themselves to trying to secure players on long-term contracts, and this has allowed them to reduce how the costs for transfers have gone through the accounts, which only can help them in terms of A, profitability, and B, in compliance with financial fair play.
Kieran, been good to get your thoughts this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.